For more on this, we're going to go to CBS News investigative reporter Graham Cates, who is outside the courthouse in Atlanta. Graham, thanks for joining us, but let's talk about this surrender for people who are probably getting lost in all of the surrenders and all the indictments here. How is this different from the other cases?
Sure. So far, 9 of the 19 people who need to surrender by tomorrow have done so. This has been different for Trump compared to his other 3 ones in that he has to do this kind of formal surrender at a jailhouse. Previously, everything that he's done has been kind of squeezed together where, so in Manhattan, for instance, he turned himself in to the arresting authority, which was the district attorney. They booked him and brought him right to the courtroom, and then he was gone an hour later. He's doing 2 different things here. He's going to an actual jail where he's going to have a full mugshot taken. It's going to be released to the public, and then his arraignment will be a couple of weeks from now. So he's really getting, in some ways, the closest thing to the full experience of a defendant. Although most people when they're arrested are booked into a jail, so he's not getting that. But he's getting closer to the real experience that he's ever had.
Okay, so 9 out of the 19 have turned themselves in. Donald Trump will do that later on today, which means a whole lot of people that have between now and tomorrow at noon, is it, to get to Atlanta. Are we expecting anyone to surrender today at all as well?
Yeah, we don't know specifically which ones, but we know that, like you said, they only have through noon tomorrow. So, for instance, his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, had been hoping to avoid this altogether. He had filed papers in federal court hoping to remove the charges against him to federal jurisdiction, where, of course, you don't do this whole mugshot thing. But yesterday, the judge said, no way, at this stage at least, you need to go through the normal local process. So he is now one of the people who really, he's going to have to scramble to get this done. There's kind of 2 steps to this. The first is your attorneys meet with the district attorney and kind of hammer out the terms of your bond. And that's roughly the amount that you're going to have to put forward to promise that you're not going to flee in the meantime. And then after the bond is set by the judge, they have to show up at the jail and have the mugshot like everyone else. And he is running out of time, like you said.
Graham, Rudy Giuliani surrendered himself yesterday. What more can you tell us about this?
They are going to be continuing to argue that their case.
Yeah, his was pretty interesting. It was, in some ways, it felt a little choreographed in terms of they had planned out really well how to get in and out of Atlanta as quick as possible while getting this done. His attorneys went to the district attorney's office. They hammered out the bond agreement for $150,000. And then almost the minute that it was in the system, that the judge signed off on it, it was uploaded to the system, Rudy was in his car, ready to pull into the jail and turn himself in. It was a very quick turnaround. They had really planned it. They wanted to be in and out. He was in New York City in the morning and back in New York City in the evening. Then he went to a bail bond office to get a bail bond, and then he left. So not everyone's going to do it that way, but he at least, his team really thought through how to make this happen in kind of the least painful way possible for the former mayor.
All right, Graham, I know you got a long day ahead of you. Thanks a lot.